Have you ever studied an entire physics chapter, remembered the formulas, and practiced hard, but in IB exam you had no idea where to start with? If you've experienced that, you're certainly not alone. Today, we're going to talk about why this happens, and more importantly, how students can overcome it. I'm joined by engineer Akash, an IB physics teacher who works with students internationally. Hello Akash, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Evelyn, for having me here. These are exactly the kinds of questions I discuss with my students every day.
So let me start. Why a student who knows all the formulas, understand the chapter, and still perform poorly in an IB physics exam?
I think that's one of the most important things for an IB physics student to understand. Knowing the formula is only one part of solving a physics problem. The real challenge is recognizing what the question is actually asking you to do. For example, a student may know an equation perfectly, but when the question presents a new situation, a graph, an unfamiliar experiment, or a real-world application, the student has to decide what physics is happening here, which concept is relevant, what information has the question given me, and which relationship should I use. That's where many students struggle. So I don't want my students to become very good at memorizing formulas. I want them to become good at thinking with physics.
That's actually a very different way of looking at exam preparation. So what happens when a student comes to you and says, "Sir, I understand what my teacher is teaching in school, but when I sit down to solve IB questions, I get stuck." What's the first thing you do?
First, I try to understand where the student is actually getting stuck. Is it a conceptual problem? Is it mathematical? Is the student misunderstanding the question? Is the difficulty with graphs or data? Or perhaps the student knows the physics but doesn't know how to structure an IB response? Once we identify that, we can work on the actual problem. Because two students can get the same mark in physics and still need completely different types of help.
You've taught more than 350 lessons on Preply, more than 500 lessons via YouTube Connect, and developed a strong understanding of the needs of international students. Does teaching students from different countries change the way you teach?
Absolutely. Teaching students from different countries has taught me that every student learns differently. Their academic background, way of thinking, communication style, and even the way they approach problems can be different. So I don't use exactly the same teaching approach with every student. I first understand the student, identify where they are struggling, and then adapt my explanation to their level and learning style. For me, international teaching is not just about teaching physics, it's about understanding the student and finding the best way to make physics clear and enjoyable for them.
And if someone watching this feels that your teaching approach might be suitable for them, how can they learn from you?
If students like to study with me, he can find the details through my website, myxmtown.com, or WhatsApp me directly. I offer one-to-one online IB physics sessions for DP1 and DP2 students, both SL and HL. So whether you're looking for help with a particular topic, exam preparation, or simply want to become more confident with IB physics, you can connect me there.
Sir, thank you for joining us. I think the biggest takeaway from today's conversation is that the formulas get you started, but conceptual application is what actually lands you a 7 inches IB physics. Thank you, sir, for being here.